Delisting is something that every supplier is going to come across at some point in a trading relationship with a retailer. About 12% of suppliers in my last survey said that they had had a potential breach of the code in relation to delisting in the previous 12 months. Now, in the code, it's very clear what the provisions are in relation to delisting, and they come under two areas. One of which is that the reason for the delisting must be a genuine commercial reason and that it must be put in writing to the supplier. And secondly, that the supplier should be given reasonable notice. And within that reasonable notice, it should allow enough time for the supplier to then appeal that decision and have it reviewed by the senior buyer in the organisation, and if they're not happy with the outcome of that, to review it with the code compliance officer. Now, I know a lot of people would like me to say exactly what reasonable notice means. And the reason I don't is it makes a very big difference as to whether you are if you are a very big brand and you're having one small SKU that's relisted in a retailer, as opposed to somebody who might have 60–70% of their total production being supplied to a retailer. Some of them might just need a few weeks' notice and others might need many months. But as a result, I have now issued two pieces of guidance in relation to delisting. The first one was the full one that I thought actually covered everything that needed to be considered and that the retailer needed to take into account when working out what is reasonable notice. There's also a second piece of guidance on fresh produce, where it was clear to me that there were still misunderstandings as to what should be taken into account. Fresh produce is more complicated. There's commitments to land, seed, planting that needs to be taken into account. I strongly suggest that anybody that wants to appeal a delisting decision reads those pieces of guidance properly and understands them. Now, a key part of delisting is that it also includes a significant reduction. It is not just going from total supply to zero. Anything that is a significant reduction is something that will have an impact on you, your manufacturing premises, the stock you may be holding. And for those who want to understand more about it, my investigation into the cooperative group went into this in some detail, where there were many instances of where, following a range review, a product was listed in less stores and as a result could have been a significant reduction in volume taken by the retailer.